Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are playing another game with Pauper Soldiers. Deck list is as it appears in the deck tech, so I'll have a link in the description below as well as a link to Tapped Out. I'm starting to include those now that will link to the most updated version to the deck. So I'll have the deck as it's featured down in the list below, and then if you want to check out if there have been any changes made to it, you can click on the Tapped Out link for the most recent version of the deck. So just going to jump right on into a game here. It has been pretty thundery out here lately, so if you're hearing a lot of noise in the background, that's probably either thunder or my rabbits being scared from the thunder. Okay, so one land is tough. One land is really tough here. We're on the draw. This is a really greedy keep. Like, you'll probably should not be keeping hands like this, but oh goodness. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. We got 2 turns to draw another plains. Ancient Stirrings. Oh, that's an interesting art for that card. I haven't seen that one yet. Alright. Passing back to us. So let's get this. Oh, beautiful. It worked out. It worked out. Y'all don't get to see me fall on my face today. Alright, let's get this Thraben Inspector out there. So next turn, probably going to be raise the alarm. Alternatively, I could just slap this Bonesplitter on the Thraben Inspector, but it's probably a good idea to commit a little bit more to the board, especially now that we have another land, because this Veteran Swordsmith is going to pump up all of our little tokens here. So I'm just going to run this out here. It looks like we could be facing counter spells. We are against Tron, the big menace. This is the deck we are trying to avoid with this list here, because we really just need to get in under them and get them before they can start just flickering the Stonehorde Dignitary with a wall, I think it's called the Mnemonic Wall or the Archaeomancer to keep recurring those. Now that's interesting. This looks like we might be facing a more unique take on Tron, which I definitely appreciate. It's a very interesting list, but Tron, the Flicker Tron, can produce some very long, boring games. So we will just get in here for 6. I've been also thinking, as far as updates to this deck go, I might cut the, I'm not recalling the name of it right now, but the 3-cost Convoke Soldier that if you tap 3 creatures, it becomes a 5/4. I think that maybe might just be better as a second Veteran Swordsmith, but I don't want to go too high on the Swordsmiths because that does open us up to, ooh, that's spicy. I like. Maybe getting an Altasaur or, let's see what they get. A Fist Sphere Gargantuan. That's very interesting. Alright, so hopefully we're just going to be able to take them out here before that becomes too much of an issue. Extra land is incredible. We are probably just going to want to swing with everything here and throw down. Let's see, we have a few options. We probably don't want to use the Avenger right now. We could Bonesplitter something up and crack the clue or cast the Raise the Alarm. You know, that might be the best here because we really want to try and just apply pressure. Like, there's a pretty decent chance they are going to have, like, a Moment's Peace in their hand. Like, they might not be running blue and white, but it looks like they're definitely fairly heavy on green, so let's see. Let's just pop this on the Inspector. They're probably going to be inclined to block one of our tokens here to kill it. So we will just try and get through some more damage here. If they want to block the Thraben Inspector, they're going to have to chump it. So I'm probably just running out this Raise the Alarm here. Is there any reason to wait and do this? Like, I don't know. I think that I might get a little bit more advantage off of them not knowing that I have 2 more 2-power creatures, even if it does get countered. Alright, so we win that. Yeah, it looks like this version here of Tron is not going to really be fast enough to keep us off of what we're doing, as long as we don't just stumble and fall on our face like I almost did there in game 1 if I hadn't have drawn more lands just like every turn that I needed them. That was excellent. So it looks like there's some black in here. I'm anticipating some removal spells, so I'm going to go ahead and just bring in both of those. Let's take down the Martyr Souls because they're probably going to be bringing in some like board wipey stuff, I would guess. I'm going to cut, let's see, Raise the Alarm. They're probably going to be bringing in like Suffocating Fumes. Journey to Nowhere is going to be good. Icatian Javelineers is probably not going to be good. Let's just cut one of those. And then probably want to Fragmentize. Yeah, Javelineers is just not good here. So let's just bring in 2 Fragmentizes. Like, cut the Deftblade Elite. Like, that's also not good. Hopefully we'll be able to mess up their colors a little bit by destroying their artifacts. If they have a Bonder's Ornament, we can take care of those as well. So let's see, our opponent is still choosing their hand. This is terrible. We gotta ship this back. Absolutely no threats. This is a good hand. Let's keep this, and we'll put a Riftwatcher on the bottom, because we got 2 of those guys. And 3 mana is the farthest off from what we're casting. We have some other 3-drops as well. So starting off with Ancient Stirrings, let's see what they pick up. Probably like a Tron land or a Prophetic Prism or something, I'm guessing. A Woodland Chasm. Is that the, I think that's the black-green Snowland. Alright, no turn 1 play. Is a bit rough, a little bit slow, but we're going to be able to get the Loyal Cathar out next turn. If they kill it, we can bounce it, but they're probably not going to be that aggressive with their removal spells, I'm guessing. I guess if that's what their hand has, they're probably going to... Okay, so it looks like they don't have access to black mana here whatsoever, so our creatures are safe for the time being. Let's throw out the Loyal Cathar. And the next turn, if we... a 1-drop would be good, a land would be fine, Thraben Inspector would be a little slow, but that would be alright. What in the world is this? When Elvish Rejuvenator enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards. You may put a land onto the battlefield tapped. Huh. That actually seems kind of cool in Tron. That's interesting. I don't believe I've ever seen this card here. And I consider myself to be a connoisseur of the jank. This is some spicy jank. Alright, so back to us. Probably going to want to be maybe just getting out this Skyfisher, because that's going to be a little bit more pressure. I guess we just bounce a land and replay it, even though we don't have a 1-drop, which is like a little bit awkward. So we'll swing in for 2 here. Vigilance is nice because they're not going to be able to swing back. They do choose to chump it. So let's go Kor Skyfisher, and we'll just bounce back this Plains and play it back out. Can't do anything else, so we'll pass turn. 1-drops are still reasonable draws. Best draw is probably a land, or like Prophetic Prism would be not too bad. Prophetic Prism into like land would be pretty good. It wouldn't let us set up momentum next turn if we decided to go for that, but it could help us go a little bit over the top of the mid game, which it looks like we're going to be getting into because my soldiers are not putting a lot of pressure on here. So let's go to combat. I might just be playing the Skyfisher, pick up the Forest, and replay the Inspector, because we are more worried about getting cards out of our hand than getting more cards into our hand at this point. So one of the neat things you can do with Kor Skyfisher, it can help you hit your land drops if you're missing those. You can always just pick up a land. A Pulse of Murasa, okay. That seems pretty good. Pick up this plains here. It's kind of nice with their little dorky creatures that they want to chump off. Like, it's a shame that they all cost 3 between that and the Fierce Empath, but it is kind of a neat interaction there. Still only on 2 lands, but at least that enables us to cast this Journey to Nowhere if they actually play something problematic. Like, they could just go Tron land and then, like, I'm not even sure what top end they're running. Like, I guess they've got the Fist Sphere. And then presumably they're running Altasaurs, but those are still kind of expensive. So, I don't know, maybe the 8 costing Cascader. Might be seeing some Ulamog's Crushers, maybe. Hopefully not a Cascader, because then that can hit something else in addition to what we can do. Okay, so we are going to get a heads up of what they're getting into their hand, which is nice for that to be telegraphed here. A little bit better idea what to expect. Might be a... Yep, there's the Maelstrom Colossus. That's the 8 costing Cascader. We can't Journey to Nowhere that away, but if they hit like an Altasaur off of that, that's like really good. But we just did another Journey, so it looks like we are just going to attack here. And then either busting the clue, or we could drop the Obsidian Acolyte. So we're not going to mana to keep the Obsidian Acolyte up. Like, I'm kind of tempted to just bust the clue here, even though that's not actually committing anything to the board this turn. Let's see how they block here. Give us another second to think about it. I'm just going to take it all. So next turn it would be kind of nice to play one of... No, next turn I'm going to be Journey to Nowhereing, so I guess I need to set something up this turn that makes Journey to Nowhere better. Like, I don't have any 1-drops. Let's just do Acolyte. And pass turn. Because, like, I'm probably not going to be playing the Veteran Swordsmith next turn, like, even if I draw a land, because I really am going to want to be Journey to Nowhereing this Colossus. So let's see what they cascade into. Like, it's kind of cool that they can cascade into more Fierce Empaths and just get more big creatures, like even if they don't hit a big creature. That's pretty cool. I like this deck. It seems like a little bit slow, but if you're not facing something like hyper aggressive, like I can't imagine this deck even has like a reasonable burn matchup, which is pretty rough. But it is a really sweet deck. Alright, so we get Kor Skyfisher. I think we're just Journey to Nowhereing here. And then swinging with everything. Like, get rid of you. Big ol' 7/7 we don't need to worry about anymore. So doing quite a bit here with just, no, not you, silly. We need you, you're too precious. Alright, so double blocking with the Thraben Inspector. I am okay with losing that. Does allow us to get the Cathar through, take them down to 9. So if they play another big creature this next turn, we could just Journey to Nowhere it away. And then it looks like we won't have a lethal, but we are kind of approaching that point. Because, like, I'm not going to be able to draw a land and a pump spell. Ramosian Rally might get us there if they don't do any blocks, but they're probably at least going to chump. I have so much mana. Oh, I guess they still don't have Tron. Maul Splicer. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Well, that's definitely more resistant to my Journey to Nowhere here. So, yeah, I don't even know if we have good attacks anymore. Like, that's kind of a janky card, but it's working pretty well here. Another Journey to Nowhere. I guess we're just saving these because I really want to get more creatures in the air, because like that's going to be the way we're winning this game. So that being said, I think that I am just going to Kor Skyfisher, bounce a land. Like, some more lands here would really be helpful. I am running 19 in this version here. Let's go to attacks. We can get through 4 in the air, and then we're just going to play out this Kor Skyfisher, and since we don't have anything to bounce for value, we're just going to be bouncing and replaying a land because we keep missing those land drops. Like, look how many lands we have compared to the opponent. This is crazy. They have been ramping a little bit with those 3-drop creatures. In the world are those called? Elvish Rejuvenator. It's a cool card. Alright, so we are presenting lethal here finally. And we do have a white mana up to protect from like a cast down or something, so that is phenomenal. It looks like we might be able to beat them unless they do something like Penumbra Spider. It's like an Altasaur. This looks like Altasaur. Oh, there's the 8th. Another Colossus? Sure. But, like, we just win, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we just, like, win. They get another 6-drop, but they can't cast it. Although, like, with Tron, if they had Tron, they, like, probably could have, like... Is this deck running crop rotation? Like, it's not a good... Well, I guess it could be a fine Cascade target. Like, you could upgrade a Forest into, like, an Urza's... Is Tower the one that does 3? Yeah, like an Urza's Tower. Like, that's ramping your mana by 2, at least. Like, that is far from nothing. So, I don't know. They might have a, Do I block? I don't think I block. I could just block here, kind of consequence-free with the Cathar. Yeah, let's just do it in case they have something. Like, I'm not going to be able to block with this once it transforms because the zombie can't block. But that just saves us a little bit of damage. Like, I don't know, that probably wasn't necessary at all. But, like, I think I just win. So let's go to combat first and just see if we can get through. And then, like, if we get fogged or something, like, none of this has reach, right? Oh, they just scoop. All right, yeah, so that was lethal there. If they did have a removal spell, we could protect it with the Acolyte, and if they had a flyer, we could remove it with the Journey to Nowhere. So it seems like we beat this version here pretty handily because we were just able to get in under them, probably a little bit better than a more traditional Tron deck. But really sweet deck and fun game. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.